Hey, good morning. It's Coach Jill, and this is the Friday Fitlife Academy call. Welcome to the call. I want to welcome Coach Penny, Coach Paula. Thank you for joining me this morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. We have a ton of great questions today. If you are watching, the chat box is open, so please feel free to type in with where you're watching from. And if you have questions, feel free to type in your questions as well in the chat box. Because you're live and watching, I want to make sure we get your questions answered first. So feel free to drop your questions in there. Otherwise, I'm going to dig in with some questions because we have a great bunch of questions here in our queue. So let's get started. Today we are talking mindset. Mindset is one of the key pieces in our program. It's what really differentiates us from other programs. You know, there are plenty of diet programs out there. You can lose weight and feel great. However, they don't address the issues revolving food. So how you fuel your body, how you feel about food, issues with feeding yourself comfort foods, how to reward yourself properly that doesn't revolve around food. So that is one thing that our program really does dig into, is that mindset piece. And it's not just meant around the program. It's meant to be a whole lifestyle change. So therefore, you're approaching the way you do things differently completely. And what happens is that our clients find that when they've completed the program and they have the mindset piece in place, they are set up for success with the program, rather than just being in a, quote, maintenance phase where they're supposed to try and stay continuing to eat what they've been eating all along. We teach you to eat for a lifetime rather than just 90 days. So, yes, Pamela, good morning. There will be a replay of this session. We are recording this, and this will get posted, and you will be able to see all the questions. The lovely Penny makes a post every week inside the membership, and she addresses all the main questions that were brought to this replay. So you'll be able to find that in the replay section. All right, let's do this. All right. Let's start with, oh, here's a good question. What are the negative aspects of alcohol intake on your mindset? This is actually a good one. You know, when we start to dig into mindset with the program, in the very first steps of our program, we are really trying to build you up and remove the negative thinking and the negative thoughts and the negative self-talk about yourself, and replace that with a lot of positive affirmations and positive aspects. So that's one of the first things that we start with, is just getting you to remove that negative energy from your thinking and get you around to a more positive way of thinking. So one of the first things that we do is we have you do your Identity. Now, here's the great thing about this. We have the Identity tool inside the membership, so you can access the Identity tool. This is a great first place to start, because this is really going to allow you that time to sit down, and it's something that you do need to take the time and sit down and think about. This should not be something that is rushed through. Sit down, think about, what is your why? Why do you want to make changes in your life? Why do you want to get healthier? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get more fit? What is your why for that? And the tool is going to ask you some specific questions, so you can really hone in on those whys and figure this out for you. Now, we always encourage, especially our coaching clients, to revisit their Identity. Every time they start to reach goals in their transformation, we have them revisit their Identity, because your Identity is going to change and morph along with you as you go through your transformation. So this is not something that you just do once in your life and you're done with it. You never have to do it again. This is something that you're going to be continuously working on, and you're going to be continuously changing as your lifestyle changes and as you make these changes. Now, the other tool that we also use with our clients is creating a vision board. This is a big piece as well with this, And we encourage our clients to create their vision board. Some of them do it on paper, some of them do it on an actual bulletin board or tack type board. We've got people who've done it online, be it in Pinterest. There are some online applications out there where you can create a virtual vision board. We've got folks with vision books where they've taken a 3-ring binder and created a vision book for themselves. No matter what format that you choose to do, what you need to do is you need to decide what your goals are. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And they shouldn't be easy things to achieve. They should make you nervous. Drew always says, make your goals so big they make you nervous, because that's what's going to continue to push you to strive to reach those goals. Paula and Penny, how long ago did you create your vision boards, and how many times would you say you've updated them since you created them?
I created mine actually before Fitlife.
Mm-hmm.
I had a vision board. So I've had a vision board for probably about 4 years.
Nice.
I update it probably every few months, or it depends on if I reach goals, if I find new goals. But I'd say probably at least 3 times a year I update it, if not more often. Like I said, depending on what's going on in my life. If I've met my goals, if I need new goals, but at minimum 3 times a year. It's in front of me. It's constant reminder. So.
Love it. Paula, how about you?
I have done vision boards for years. I would say, though, the one that I started with Fitlife is probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, is the only one that I've continued to update, just because I've learned that it's an important part of my journey. And I would agree with Penny. It's probably 3 or 4 times a year, and it just depends on whether you come across something new or you've achieved something that you had on there.
I love that. Yeah, it's interesting because I used to take, as I achieve things, I'd take them off my vision board. Now I leave them on there. Now I layer everything so I can see exactly how far I've come and where I started. So if you're watching and you have questions about your identity or vision board creation, please feel free to type in the chat. Let us know. We've got plenty of people watching. I see you continue to come on. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your questions. Because you're live, we want to make sure that we're getting your questions answered before we go to questions in the queue. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat so we can get your questions answered. Okay, let's move on to our next question here. All right. This one's a little bit off, but we're going to take this question anyways. This one comes from Dora. Dora says, I have a digestive problem. I eat healthy and take 1 probiotic every day. Can I take more, or is there something else that that can help? I eat very healthy. This is a great question. First of all, I commend you for taking probiotic. That is definitely an important part of keeping your digestive health in check. And Dora says she eats very healthy, which is a great thing. But if you're eating a diet that is high in processed foods, if you have a lot of stress in your life, if you have just a lot of different factors in your life that are keeping you from living at your peak self, that can be degrading your digestive system. And it's interesting because they're coming out with studies now that are showing that some of digestive diseases, things like irritable bowel, colitis, where they used to believe that they were caused by specifically stress or specifically one type of bacteria in the gut, they're finding now that it's the holistic system, the digestive system, that is causing these. So it is so important to make sure that your digestive system is balanced. And part of that is having plenty of good, healthy bacteria in your digestive system. This is an important piece of this. And in order to do that, to make sure that you've got the good bacteria in your system, you often have to supplement to get that up. And it doesn't come instantly when you start to take probiotics. You definitely need to maintain this regimen. It takes a minimum of 30 days to start to get enough good bacteria in your digestive system to start to notice a difference. So realize that just taking probiotics for a couple of days is not going to make a difference immediately for you. It just doesn't happen that way. It takes a while to get a level going in your body. Now, do you have options of using something other than just probiotics? Absolutely. There are natural ways to be able to supplement that bacteria in your digestive system. Things like fermented foods are a great way to put live probiotic into your body. Anything that is fermented, and this should be naturally fermented. You really want to look for foods that are naturally fermented. You will often see in the grocery store, you will see on the shelves things that appear to be fermented, and they've been fermented via vinegar, things like that. That's not the option that you're looking for, because that's not going to put those healthy probiotics into that. It needs to be naturally fermented. So when I say naturally fermented, things like sauerkraut, refrigerator pickles, beans, things like kombucha, water kefir, even milk kefir, and we'll talk about that in a second. But when it's naturally fermented, the fermentation process is really easy, and I remember when I was first learning about fermented foods, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't have the patience to do this. When you actually take the time to learn about fermenting foods, it's really very easy. It's a very simple process. It's done with either Celtic sea salts or pink Himalayan sea salts. You want to use good quality salt for this. And you're going to be adding that to whatever vegetables that you decide to ferment, along with filtered water. And it's that simple. It really is that simple. You put that in there, you put it into a mason jar, put a cover on it, and let it do its thing. And usually it will take about, depending on what you're fermenting, it will take about 2 weeks to ferment it. But once you've got it, then it's good to store in the jar. So realize that, if you, one of my favorite things to ferment is sauerkraut. It's just organic cabbage and Celtic salt. Super simple, and it's tastes so much better than what you buy in the store. And the sauerkraut that's in the store is chemically fermented. It is not done naturally. So do realize that. Now, if you are going to an organic market and you're getting things organically, if you read the labels, yes, some of that is fermented naturally, but you have to read your labels. Definitely have to read your labels. If there's vinegar contained in it, it is not fermented naturally. So please realize that. Ladies, what are you doing to get some of your some of the healthier bacteria into your digestive systems?
I use kombucha. I love kombucha. I don't drink like a lot of it. I drink some every day, a small amount, and to make my own sauerkraut. I love that. I could eat that every day. I love it. I've always loved it. But the one I make myself is so much better than what you buy at the store. So.
Yeah, I agree. Paula, how about you?
I take a probiotic and I drink kombucha.
I love it. Now, for anybody who's not familiar with kombucha, you may have heard the term, you may not have heard the term. Kombucha is actually a fermented sweet tea. It is organic black tea, and you start out with sugar in there. You're going to mix a certain amount of sugar in it. It's organic sugar. And then you're going to use a SCOBY. And SCOBY is spelled SCOBY, and that stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacterial Yeast. And you're going to put that SCOBY in with that sweet tea mixture. And over the course of 2 weeks, it's going to absorb that sugar, eat that sugar up. It's going to fuel the SCOBY, because the SCOBY is actually live. And it's going to fuel that SCOBY, and it's going to actually turn your kombucha into, the sweetness will be gone. Sometimes there's a slight bit of sweetness left. I like mine more on the tart side, so I will usually ferment mine a little bit longer. But it removes the sugar and leaves you with a drink that is filled with live probiotic. So good for you. Now, there's a couple of things that I will caution you about. If you've never tried kombucha, it's not something that you want to drink a whole bottle of the first time that you have it. While it is good for you, and it is good for you, please realize that it's not one of these concepts of, well, if a little is good for me, even more is better for me. It's not better for you. It will actually cause loose bowels. So do realize that your body needs time to adjust to this. I worked my way up to a full serving it took me a few weeks to work my way up to a full serving. So I do caution you, start out slow with it. Now, if you're going to purchase it in the store, they do make kombucha that you can buy in the store now. You need to look at your brands with this. You want it to be organic. You want it to be fermented. And, it should have an expiration date on it. If it does not have an expiration date on it, do not buy it. That means it's been preserved. So you want your kombucha to be, it should usually be within a few weeks of purchasing that it should expire. So do look at that. The other thing is when you purchase it in the store, if you've never purchased kombucha before, there will be some sediment in the bottom. This is not a bad thing. It is completely normal. That is the good culture that's in there. That is that live probiotic culture. So do not think that it is bad or not good for you. And whatever you do, do not shake it up. Absolutely do not shake it up and try and mix it in, because while it doesn't have carbonation like soda, the fermentation process naturally carbonates kombucha, and it will explode like a soda will explode on you. So do realize that. Do not shake it. Just drink it. If you need to mix it up, pour it into a glass first, and then you can stir it up. But that is just something that you adjust to. I will definitely say I think kombucha is an acquired taste. It's not everybody's thing. I happen to enjoy it very much because I've cut out a lot of the sugar in my life. So the first time I tasted it, it's a different taste. What would you say it tastes like?
I don't know if I could exactly say. I buy it at the store, and I buy different flavors. I don't know. It has a taste of its own. Some of them taste a little bit like tea. Some taste a little bit like fruit, depending on if it's made with fruit. You can taste like a little raspberry or strawberry. I buy one that's like a lemonade flavor, so it's kind of just tart. It's not it's a pleasant taste. I liked it from the first time I tried it. I will say, I've had it when I opened it, foam up over the top.
Yeah.
So now I open it over the sink. First time I open it, I've made several big messes with that. So it's very, very carbonated.
Paula, what would you say it tastes like?
The first time I tasted it, I thought it tasted like drinking pure vinegar. I had a really hard time with it in the beginning, but I love it. I love it plain. I used to brew my own. I don't anymore. I like it flavored. I like the ginger. I like the KT brand, which has a gingerade or a citrus. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. So it is an acquired taste. I think you just have to, as you move away from the sugar piece and as your palate gets less used to having all that sweetness, you will find the taste becomes very pleasant for you. So it's really a matter of adjusting your taste buds. Now, the one thing that I mentioned earlier was milk kefir. Milk kefir and water kefir are two completely separate things. Water kefir is fermented sugar water, and it uses a different grain to ferment than kombucha does, so it uses a different grain. But then there's also milk kefir, and milk kefir is made from raw milk, raw dairy, and that also uses a different culture as well to ferment. Now, you can buy milk kefir in the grocery store. However, you really have to read the label, because most of the milk kefir that's in the store, um, some of it's been preserved. A lot of it is loaded with sugar, a ton of sugar, because they put fruit puree in there to sweeten it up. So natural milk kefir by itself has kind of Paula's shaking her head. It kind of
It's
has,
sour.
it's more sour than sour cream.
And sour milk, it's more sour than it's sour.
Yeah, yeah. It's more. I like kefir to put into smoothies, things like that, where I'm doing something else with it. I don't care to drink milk kefir by itself. It's a different taste. It's a very different taste. Some people love it, but I usually add it to smoothies. I know. I remember Paula's face the first time she tasted it.
Yep. Couldn't go back.
Yeah. Yeah. So make sure that you're reading labels. If you're buying it in the grocery store, it's in the refrigerated section, in the dairy section. But make sure you're reading those labels. If it's high in sugar, it's really not good for you, and you don't want that. That's not what you're looking for. I would rather see you doing kombucha. I'd rather see you doing water kefir. Now, if you're looking for a source to get the grains, because we've talked about the SCOBY, we've talked about the grains, the best place, and I'm going to drop it in here, is Cultures for Health. You can get those cultures online very easily, very easily. And it's a great thing. I would encourage you to dig into fermentation. If you have more questions about fermentation, feel free to message us. I'm happy to help you out with that. All right, let's jump into some other questions here. All right. Oh, here's a good one. How do I break through and just do it? Just get started. This is a great question. We hear this quite frequently. How do I make that decision? What brings you to that? Well, I always like to say you kind of have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired to be ready to do this. And we often have people come to us who are not ready. They do want change, but they're not ready to make the commitment. And this is truly when you decide that you're ready to get healthy. This is a commitment to yourself. This is not about everybody else. You may be wanting to do it, because you have children. You want to be healthier for your children, for your husband, for your family, which is great. But this has to start with you. This has to start within here, and that can be the toughest thing, especially. And I speak for the three of us here. We're all moms. We all have grown children and things like that. You tend to put everybody and everything first. So it's really about prioritizing to decide that you're going to make yourself a priority. You're going to actually make your own to-do list when you're doing this. It doesn't mean that it's going to take all of your time. It doesn't have to take all of your time, but you do need to make yourself a priority. You have to start with that, because if you can't make getting healthy a priority for you, then you're not ready to do this, and then you're just going to be turning in circles, and you're going to be sabotaging yourself. And we often talk about self-sabotage in our program. We work with our clients on how to stop self-sabotaging. It is the easiest and yet the hardest thing to do and to stop doing. We often hear, oh, you know what, I've always done it this way. Okay, yes, you've always done it this way, but it's time to make a decision not to do it this way. So what's going to take to get you to that? What is going to take? And we talked about the identity earlier. That is a really important piece with this, because that's your why. And maybe you need to come back to that every single day. Maybe you need to look at that at the start of every day as you're getting started on your own journey. To figure out why you're doing this and why you want to do this. As you progress through your transformation, it's going to get easier. You're going to see how good you start to feel. So you're going to be sleeping better. You're going to have more energy. Your skin's going to be glowing. People are going to be complimenting you, say, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" That in itself is enough to keep pushing you forward. But you have to find that. Not only that, you have to figure out what your support system is. So, Are you doing this alone? Um, do you have a spouse or significant other that is supporting you? Is your family supporting you? Where are you going to turn to for support during this? That is one of the beautiful things about Fitlife. We have our community. We have our membership community. So you instantly have support right there in that community. And know that everybody that's in that community is here for a reason. They're here because they want to get healthier. They want to incorporate um, juicing and whole foods and fitness and mindset into their life every single day. So you have that community there. Not only that, you have the coaches. All of our certified coaches are in there on a regular basis, checking in, saying hi, seeing how you're doing, seeing how they can help you. So they're there to support you as well. Now, if you're at the point where you're ready to make the change and you still need more help and you still need more assistance and you need that accountability piece, that's where we have our certified coaches. They're here and they're ready and they're waiting to help you along your journey. But it still needs to be the point where you are going to make the decision to get started and to take this journey. Paula and Penny, what was your deciding factor to start?
For me, it started with, I knew I needed to be healthier, but I was in a car accident and I'd lost all the feeling in my left leg from the knee down through my foot. But I had severe pain, nerve pain. And the doctors just wanted to give me drugs for that. And they said, it can't be fixed. You're going to have this, learn to live with it. Here's some pain pills. I never filled the prescription. I didn't want pain pills. And so I got online and started researching. And I saw a lot of articles how whole foods, natural foods, organic foods, juicing would heal your body. And I said, okay, let's try this. And I did find Drew. This is how I found him. And I bought a juicer. And within the first month, by the end of the first month, the feeling was coming back in my leg. And it's a slow process, but the nerves have healed. I can now feel my foot when it hits the ground. It's just been amazing. And then the bonus was I got healthy. My whole body got healthy, not just my leg. But that's what precipitated, this move. It's like, no, I will fix this. And it's working.
Love that. Paula, how about you?
I started because I had been diagnosed with a liver disease that was not treatable. So I needed to find some way to reverse that. And I had tried all of those popular diets out there, anything and everything. And I saw a girlfriend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while in a Facebook post, and she looked phenomenal. So I asked her what she was doing, and she told me, told me to look up Drew and just check it out. So I just started slowly checking it. I had never done anything like this before, and I just pretty quickly started feeling better. I was just juicing a few times a day. I tried the Alpha Reset. I wasn't successful. I maybe made it like a day and a half or something like that. But I mean, it was successful to me, but it wasn't like the complete Alpha Reset. And I just kept watching his mindset stuff to, keep going, keep going, keep going. And so I did, and eventually did small group coaching. And about a year and a half later, I had all normal liver tests and numbers and all the other things that came with it, like no joint pain, nicer looking hair, better looking skin, my nails, all of those extras, including losing weight, so it's something I always do.
I love that. Yeah, and when you're ready, when you're truly ready, you'll know that you're truly ready for this. Mm-hmm. And when you are ready, we're here to help you take that step. And I'll tell you how to do that. If you are watching and you're realizing that you're ready for that next step, I'll tell you at the end of this how to take the next step with us. Okay? Let's take a look here. Here's a good one. This one comes from Janine. Janine says, how do I stop losing control over eating crappy food? It's like my mind knows better, but then the hand is in the cookie jar, which then starts a binge eating fest. You know what, Janine, we hear this all the time, and I can tell you that each one of the three of us have been at this point in our lives at some point in time. We each have our trigger food. Everybody's got their trigger food. And it's a matter of learning what those triggers are and how to change your thinking about that and how to move away from that. So, you know, this is number one, the mindset piece, but it's also making sure that you are feeding your body properly. When you are feeding your body with all the proper nutrients, you know, getting in plenty of vegetables, plenty of lean protein, healthy fats, you're going to find that you're not going to crave a lot of those things that you might have craved before. So whether it be if you're a sugar craver, you know, you're going to find that when you get your body in balance, when you're not deficient in your major groups, you're not going to be having those kind of cravings anymore. So you won't be craving the cookies or the sugar or, you know, even the salty. We have some clients who come to us and said, I can't give up the salt. I just can't give up the salt. Well, we're going to help you with that, and we're going to get you to be eating healthier options with the salt, so that you're actually able to move past that. You know, I can remember when I first started this program and I first started juicing, and it was on, I think it was on my beta breakthrough. I think I was on my first beta breakthrough, which is our protocol, or our plateau busting protocol. It's a tough protocol. And I think 2 days into it, I was craving cheese. And couldn't figure out why I've never in my life craved cheese. And it was because I was missing the healthy fats. And that's what my body brought forth as a craving, saying it needed more healthy fat. And so now I know that. Now I know when I juice fast, if I start to crave cheese, I need healthy fat. So it's time to get a spoon of coconut oil, or, you know, eat a half of an avocado, things like that. And it's the same thing with, you know, with if you're a chocolate craver. We often hear people say, oh, I crave nothing but chocolate. Chocolate craving, yeah, Penny says drink water. Absolutely, drink water. One of the signs of craving chocolate is a magnesium deficiency. And believe it or not, most adults, if they check their magnesium levels, would be deficient in magnesium. It just comes from our stressful lives and the fact that we're continuously going and we're connected and things like that. Most adults are magnesium deficient. And when your body is magnesium deficient, especially for women, that can also cause issues with your calcium absorption, because calcium absorption, in order to absorb the proper amount of calcium into your body, you need that magnesium piece there. Magnesium helps you with the absorption of calcium. So when you are magnesium deficient, your chances of becoming low on your calcium are pretty high. So you've got to make sure that you've got everything balanced out. So one of the things that we recommend to our coaching clients is that they are taking magnesium before bed every night. It's an easy way to get that magnesium in. It helps you to sleep better. It helps to relax the body. And that time overnight when you're sleeping, that is the most important time of the day, because that's when your body is going to do all its work. Yes, you're resting. And your body needs you to be resting for it to do all of the healing and all of the work that it needs to do. So by taking that magnesium and getting that good night's sleep and getting that great REM sleep, you're allowing your body to heal and to move forward and do the work that it needs to do. So, and like Penny said, drink more water. Oftentimes, you know, hunger and cravings and things like that, it can be... you may think that you're hungry, and it's actually that you're dehydrated. So many people walk around every single day not realizing that they're severely dehydrated. So, you know, do you have the dark circles under your eyes? Is your skin a little dry? You know, is it not as supple as it used to be? just means that you need to be drinking more water. And we recommend 80 to 120 ounces of water per day for our clients to stay properly hydrated. Now, when you start trying to get to that 80 to 120 ounces, are you going to be in the bathroom? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It is just a fact. But it's good for you. It's removing toxins from your body. As your body releases toxins, it goes into your blood system and it circulates within your body. You need that water. You need to eliminate to get rid of that. You need to do that. So I say, dehydration can mask itself as hunger. So always start with water. Penny's advice: always start with water when you're craving anything. If you've done an 8-ounce glass of water and you're still craving something, take a look at what you're craving. Maybe that's what's deficient in your diet. So these are the big things, and these are the big triggers to getting past this. And when you work through the Fitlife program, you're going to find that you're better equipped to be able to handle these, and you're also not going to have the cravings like you had previously. Okay. Madeline says, I'm having trouble with meditations, specifically the affirmations. Any tips? I don't love my body as it is. Hard to make that affirmation. Again, we hear this a lot from our coaching clients. We can be so critical of our own bodies and so critical of everything. So often you will see, and I say it starts often with your daughters when they're teenagers and they're looking in the mirror and they're like, well, this isn't enough and this isn't enough, and our society has given people such a skewed view of what a body should be, and so unfortunately it gets ingrained when you're young. Now, one of the things one of the pieces that I work with clients on when they first come to me and say, you know what, I don't love my body, I don't like this as it is, and you have to realize that this is a temporary place for you. It's not always going to be like this. This is a journey, but you do have to love your body right where you're at right now. You don't have to love everything about it, but the key is to change your thinking around to find the good things that you do like. And if you find one positive thing every day, you're going to find yourself not being so hard and being so self-critical. So I always encourage my clients when they start their transformation program. And as much as you hate to do this, and I hated to do this when I first started to, go out and buy a full-length mirror. They are not expensive. You can get cheap ones at Target or Walmart or whatever. You need to stand in front of that mirror every single day, and you need to look at your body, and you need to find one thing to compliment yourself on each day. And as you get into that practice, as you do that, as you start to look, really view your body. Don't look past yourself, which we all have a tendency to do. I mean, for years I had mirrors in my house that only came to here, so I liked to imagine what was all down here, because it was easier to imagine it than it was to actually look at it. And they're laughing because they I'm right. So it's easy to imagine everything from here down. Well, then when you actually have to start looking at it, and to find something positive, and maybe it's something small. Maybe it's like, hey, you know what, I like the way I dress today. I like the way this looks today. As you start to make that practice, you're going to find that your subconscious is going to adjust, and you're going to start to view your body differently. It is proven. It does work. Paula, Penny, have you guys done this? Does this work for you?
It does work. I struggled with it at first because I didn't like me. I didn't like me. That included my body, but I had to learn to love me. And I read over the years. I'd read so much about you have to love yourself, and I'm like, no, I can't. And it took me some time to work through it, to reach a point where I can say I love me just as I am. I love me. I can love a different me. I can love a thinner me. I can, but you have to accept yourself as you are right now. And that takes a little bit of mindset work.
I agree. Paula, how about you?
I would say that there's always something that you do like. It could be your eyes, could be your hair, could be the fact that everybody else in your family has a big butt, but you don't. I mean, it could be lots of things. So, find the one thing that makes you feel good, um, and just start concentrating on that one thing, being thankful for. Thank God I have my eyes. And then every day you're going to feel better about it. And just by being thankful for that one thing that you do like, is changing the way that you're thinking. And as you progress, you'll see that you as a whole is a wonderful person. And you can learn to love yourself, accept yourself, and be happy with where you're at. Because you've also made the conscious decision to do something and move forward. So that in itself is huge. So you just need to take those little things and go with it and just be thankful on a daily basis that you have that.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other a tip that I remember somebody else had given me, and if you struggle with this, if you really struggle with this, take a Post-it note, put it on your mirror, and write down, "I love myself." And even if you have to read that to yourself every day, 5 times a day, "I love myself. I love," and sooner or later, you're actually going to be able to look yourself eye to eye in the mirror and say, "I love myself." It will happen. You have to practice. You absolutely have to practice. Is it going to be easy at first? No, not necessarily. It may be the toughest thing that you have to do, but you know what? You can do it, and you can get through it, and you're going to see those changes happen. As you replace the negative with the positive, you're going to start to see the changes come. So, okay, we're going to wrap up for today. I want to give you a couple little tidbits here. First of all, in 2 weeks is our first live event. We're really, really excited about this. It's here in San Diego, so if you can make it out to San Diego, June 25th, 26th, it's a great opportunity. You are going to leave this live event with your transformation plan in hand. You're going to know exactly what you need to do for yourself, and you're going to have that plan. The entire Fitlife team is going to be there. All 3 of us will be there. You'll get to meet each one of us. There will be no computer screen between us. You'll get to meet us. We are real. We do exist. And you will get to be in the midst of an incredible amount of people who are all so excited about this and so positive and have been affected in incredible ways by the Fitlife program. So I encourage you, if you can come out and join us, you can purchase your tickets at fitlifelive.com. There are still tickets left. We'd love to have you come join us. And if you're ready to make a decision, if you feel like you're ready, I'm really ready to move forward. I want this transformation. I want to make this happen in my life. I'm tired of being sick and tired. Then you know what? Reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to make sure that you're getting what you need. And if you're ready to enlist the help of a coach, then let us help you. We would love to have you schedule a call with us so that we can help you decide what's right for you, what level of our program. We have several options for you. I'm not going to go into them all today, but we'll be happy to talk with you about your options. I'm posting a link here. You can go to fitlifecoachingprogram.com. We've got some great information there for you, and you can sign up to have a call with our management team here, our coaching management team. We'd love to talk with you, see how we can help you, and see how we can figure out a program that's right for you. So no matter what your issue is, if it's weight loss, if it's just needing better self-esteem, if you want to even tone or put on muscle, we can help you with that as well. So our program is completely customizable. We believe in meeting you right where you're at and getting you started right where you're at, right here, right now. So it doesn't matter what's happened in the past, whatever programs you've tried, it doesn't matter. We're here to start right here, right now, and move you forward to live your best life. And so let us help you. Reach out. Let us know how we can assist you. If you have questions about anything in the membership, please feel free to email me. It's jill@fitlife.tv. We'll be glad to get any issues that you're having or questions answered for you. We want to make sure that you're having a great experience inside our membership. So email right there. You can reach out to jill@fitlife.tv and we'll get your questions answered. So have a great week, everybody. We'll be back next week. And thank you, Paula and Penny, for joining me today. And have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.